there is a simple method that truly works in the cutting back on expenses arena. Let's talk about this back in a minute. Good morning. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City. Channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I truly love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. Could that possibly be you? I sure hope so. How's everybody doing today? Hope as always that this audio video finds everybody doing well. Many people complain that from last year to this year that their energy bill went up a lot. I could happily report that my bill went down. Last year, my on the level payment plan bill was $74, and I was not complaining. That's still very good, especially living here in the city, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, that was my flat rated average per month. Okay, and every month I paid the same number, but I managed to get my bill down to $65, as I actually could show you, and it's already evidenced in the video that I made. I show you the actual bill, of which I decreased it to $65. How did I do that? Well, as you know, the level payment plan averages out your usage from the previous 12 months. So I said to myself in the beginning of July of 2022, what can I do to make the next year's average go even further lower? It went from 79 to 74 to 65. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty darn good. So I adhere to the rule of one. Now, other channels have mentioned similar methods. They have different names for it. I'm just going to call this for right now the rule of one. If anyone else has used that terminology, I apologize. I don't know that, but I'm just going to use this for example's sake. The rule of one. And this is exactly what I implemented to make my energy bill, go down and not higher. What I did was I decided to cut back 1 hour or one increment of usage of certain things. For example, how many times did you let your TV run on in the background? You're not even really paying attention to it. It's just like it's there. It's there like a piece of furniture or the lamp or the door. And the TV is there, but it's turned on. Well, you're using up energy while that TV is on. So examine your habits. Once again, it goes back to examination of habits when it comes down to expenses. And it's okay. It only takes a minute. And being more mindful. So I said, you know what? Just for the fun of it, I'm going to shut off this TV 1 hour per day less usage. For example, let's pretend that I put on the TV at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch a certain favorite show. And then I did the math and calculated how many hours is that TV actually on. So what I did, I said, well, I'm going to shut it down during the times when I totally am not using TV at all. And that's what I did. But I started off with just 1 hour every single day. Then I just was, looking back and being more mindful and thinking of growing up like my parents. Don't forget to turn the light off when you leave the room, So, my parents' good messages and why is the light still on? You're not using it. It came back to, in a cute way, kind of haunt me in a good way. And I said, well, be more mindful of these things. So being more mindful got me down a few dollars. I mean, that's, hey, it's money saved and energy saved too. So therefore, use that rule of one, cutting back. I didn't say cut it out completely. I didn't say, oh, I'm never going to watch TV. No, I made the decision to cut it down. Let's say if I'm watching 3 or 4 hours of TV in a day, maybe I'll make it 2 to 3 hours of TV per day. This is just an example, okay? But it's the method, more importantly, that I'm talking about. There are certain appliances that you use up more energy than others. I've come to learn that an electric stove oven does use up more energy, let's say, than other methods, okay? I love using a crock pot. Crock pot you can use all day long for pennies on the dollar. For me, crock pot is the easiest thing in the world. You set up your meal in the morning, you go about your day, your life doesn't stop. You don't have to hover over it all day. In fact, you really shouldn't be opening it up at all. You shouldn't be lifting up the lid at all while it's in use. Just saying, just saying. So for pennies on the dollar, these are just little ways. Now, what other little ways can you cut back? Let's say on an increment of one. Good example. Let's say that your family is used to having 2 bags of snacks per week. Let's say you have a family of 4, okay, and you're used to buying a bag of chips and a bag of pretzels the same size. Well, let's say instead of doing that, if you really sit down with your calculator and add up how much are you spending per year on just this one item, you may be shocked and shockingly amazed and even like distraught over how much money goes down the drain on something that you don't really need. It really is a want. Okay, so instead of 2 bags of snacks, why not settle down for 1 bag, which at the end of the day is actually a healthier option anyway. So instead of the bag of chips and the big bag of pretzels, maybe one week it'll be pretzels, maybe one week it'll be chips, maybe one week you'll figure out a healthier option and a cheaper option as far as snacks go. And maybe buy some, popcorn that you make yourself that could stretch out the whole month. You see where I'm going with this? Or maybe you can use real potatoes and make your own snacks in the air fryer. Or my favorite thing to do, and I really, really love this, buy a bag of pita bread, PITA. And if you just want something to really smash and gnash your teeth and crunch on and crackle on, I'm telling you, just take one of those out, cut it up. You could tear it up into irregular shaped pieces, spray it with nonstick spray, and just sprinkle a little bit of salt or flavoring like garlic powder, for example. Pop that in your air fryer for 5 minutes, and you could share that. It's a much healthier version. You see where I'm going with this? By cutting back on one thing, by doing maybe a less expensive swap out, the rule of one. What else can you cut back on? Example, maybe every single Saturday morning you take your family to breakfast, okay? And maybe this breakfast for 4, going back to the family of 4, I would say conservatively a breakfast out these days for a family of 4 can run you somewhere between $35 to $40. And if it's in a coffee shop or diner, you have to include the tip too for the good service, right? So we're talking a sizable amount of money. So instead of going every single Saturday, make it a real treat and cut it down to perhaps one Saturday a month. Or cut back if you go normally 3 times a month, go 2 times a month. You see where I'm going? You still have the fun and the option. You're just cutting back a little. You will not feel deprived. But at the end of the month, when you add up your budget in savings, you will be happily surprised and amazed. There you go. All right, everybody. I want to wish everybody well, but I really, really do hope that somebody out there will decide to smash down the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for some more savings tips just like this. Have an amazing day, everybody. Take good care now. Bye-bye.